going to take it completely out of context for a minute, all right? Completely out of context. In the 1980s and the early 1990s, I devoted a lot of my time and energy to helping churches, right? Does everybody know this about me, that I'm ordained and that I've done some preaching and all that sort of stuff? That's not new to anybody.
It's pretty evident.
Okay, good. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Thank you. All right. Okay. So that's hilarious. Good job, Claire. All right. But as a part of that, as a part of my training for some of that, I spent a lot of time going to workshops and seminars and other sorts of things from people who help churches, right? To help grow churches. And one of the most influential of those people in America is a guy named Rick Warren. You may or may not have heard his name, right? The Purpose-Driven Life, The Purpose-Driven Church, big books that he's written, big famous church, Saddleback Community Church, 30,000 members. It's amazing. Okay, Rick Warren. All right. So I went to a workshop with Rick Warren. And in this workshop, he was talking about the way that churches do worship, the way they do their worship programs, how they do the songs and all those sorts of things. And he said the most profound thing I think I ever heard, and it applies so carefully to what we're talking about here, right? Because he said a lot of churches, especially big churches in the traditional mode, will do things like the big choirs, and the guest singers and all of that sort of stuff. And what they say, listen, this nailed me to the heart. He said what they do is beautiful and irrelevant. The choirs sing these great anthems, and 3 people get it because they're artistes. They love the art. So he said the problem with most traditional churches is that they're thinking about the worship is wrong. And he used this phrase. He said churches that make a difference are churches that understand that it's music for the heart, not music for the art. What did I just say? Music for the heart, not music for the art, is all about products that meet the benefit requirements of the buyer, not the technical requirements of the seller. Okay. I don't care how technically cool it is.
Well, then what you have to differentiate yourself.
Oh, no, listen. The differentiation comes... Go ahead, Debbie. Jump in. Go ahead. I can see you.
Sorry.
Debbie's going to bust the gut if I don't let her jump in on this.
Okay. Because I face this all the time. There are a lot of people who can do what I do. There are a lot of people who can do... When I hire a graphic designer, there are a lot of people out there who can do graphic design. And, within a certain, cost range, we're still good. There's still a whole lot of people on the table. But it's the ones that I click with, which goes back to the what do you want? Okay? And that's the person that I think is suddenly brilliant because they listen to me. And that's the one that I want to hire. And that goes back to what you're talking about in terms of communication. And it's everything that Kevin has said is like there are tons of people out there who can do what you do. I don't care what it is you do. But there are tons of people, it's the ones that you click with
They're still
that you want to work with.
Along the same
it makes
lines,
you want to work with them.
I have people that, for the most part, give me 2 answers as to why they've chosen me over BNI. BNI does the same thing I do. One is they like the fact that I train them, and 2, they like my payment, the way that I bill them. Neither one has anything to do with the referral process because they can get that at BNI.
Well, it's like
and my benefits are those are my 2 biggest benefits that people buy me for over the other one that has nothing to do with
And in
what
terms
I do.
of quality, I believe that he who has the gold makes the rules. It's the new gold, the other golden rule. But what I do insist on is that people make informed decisions. If I think that they're starting to ask me for something really stupid, then I'll tell them what I think and tell them why, so that they have a choice of changing their mind. But then I'll do it. It's like
there's a level.
You want to have a 12-point type in your book, then you can have it, but it's going to look like it's for middle school.
There's clearly a level to which you would not descend in terms of technical quality, right?
And I get that. I get that.
But the distinction here is, right, you have to be able to drive your business based on something other than your own technical knowledge base.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
It has to be driven on the value definition of the customer, the buyer.
So in our benefits, what we would basically push is that we're really easy to work with. We listen to what you want. We So you're not talking. I mean, those are your
You see,
features.
You're still.
Those are
That's, what,
features,
that's,
those aren't
that's why I
benefits.
jump on this. You're still stuck on you.
Mhm.
It's not about you. Nathan, it's not about you. It's
No.
about them. So the benefit is whatever they ask you for, if you can provide it. And you got to learn to listen to them and what they're asking for, because somebody you're selling to is going to say, listen, what I'm really after is somebody who's flexible and easy to work. And they may not use that language, but you got to ferret that out. Somebody out there is going to buy your service because it's flexible, you're easy to work with, you're friendly, you're local, that's going to be the reason somebody's going to buy it.
You meet the basket.
Somebody's going to buy it just because of who else you've worked with. Somebody's going to say, what I'm really looking for is somebody with a rep, right? I want to be able to say, I worked with the guy who worked with that guy. Somebody's going to buy it for that reason. You're going to say, I did all of this for CNN, and they're going to say, okay, I'm in.
Which is why we need.
That's the only, literally, that's the only reason somebody's going to do that, right? Somebody's going to buy it because you have a higher degree of technical sophistication than anybody else they've talked to. So all of those are potential reasons for them to buy.
We just have to figure out which is the
Your
reason.
job is not to sell any one of those. Your job is to listen to what their value proposition is first. What value are they trying to, what benefit are they looking for, right? I sold Claire a Mercedes not based on the Mercedes in any way. I didn't sell it based on service or quality or longevity or looks or appearance or anything else. I based it on, Claire said, I want fuel mileage, reliability, and enough trunk space for my stupid cameras.
They're not stupid.
Wow, okay. But do you see what I'm saying? Is I didn't think about Mercedes at all until I heard her tell me exactly what her value proposition was. And then I found a way to fit a Mercedes into her value proposition. And I sold it to her based on that and nothing else.
And cheap, don't forget.
I got cheap in there too,
cheap
didn't
too.
I? I got
Yeah,
cheap in
I got
there.
cheap in
In
there.
fact, I told you how to do it cheaper than you otherwise might have, didn't I? Yeah, because that C230, by the way, does get 24 miles to the gallon in town. That's cool, right? Do you see what I'm saying, Nathan? Is we get stuck thinking about which ones of my benefits do I need to sell. Stop doing that. Know your benefits. People buy benefits. Know what they are. But ask them what benefits they're looking for and then sell those. Because you might have 50 benefits available to you. You only need to sell the ones they want.
I see.
Right? The rest of the stuff is actually irrelevant to the process. Music for the heart, not for the eye. I love that phrase. Isn't that powerful?
So what you're saying, though, is that if you listen to them and they start going, what we really want is a technically blah, 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 that's when you can then go in and start going, this is what we can offer.
Because I'm offering it specifically to what they asked, right? If they're saying it's all about the technical, then you can say, listen, here's what I've got. Here's what you can say. Here's what I heard you say. Here's what we can deliver against that, right?